Well, it's man, faced him for 7 straight games, and we really didn't have a good answer for him. He's super disciplined. I think like sometimes like with great hitters, it doesn't matter about leverage because if they get the pitch that they want to hit, they'll swing at it regardless of the count. But like that guy just forces you to be inside the strike zone, and so that's tough because like I feel like he will take his walks. At least in the World Series, he would take his walks, and he had protection behind him, so it was tough. Covers the high fastball, covers the slider in the strike zone, covers change of speeds. Maybe like he's susceptible to like a miss hit every once in a while, but like you're pretty much going for a miss hit, or you're trying to get a call, or trying to surprise him and make a good pitch on the corner. That's pretty much your only shot.
Gerrit, in a big spot, is he the guy you'd like to see missed? Because he has that combo that he won't go out of the zone, but if you go in the zone, he can do such a job.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he's up there. I mean, there's a lot of good guys here. You know, I mean, because even though, you know, Rafi kind of goes out of the zone a little bit, he hits everything out of the zone, so it really doesn't matter. Guerrero, tough. Like, everything just comes off the bat hard. Obviously, Trout's, you know, pretty intimidating. Shohei, same thing. So he's up there. I'd say there's probably 5 or 6 of them in the mix, and whichever one is going hot at the time is probably the one, but they kind of probably rotate.
You think your team should move heaven and earth on a lot of prospects?
I think any team should win heaven and earth to get a lot of and go get them. And I think the Nationals should keep trying. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Can I ask Aaron Judge?
Yes, of course.
Could it have gone much better for Gerrit in the first half of the season than it's gone?
Yeah, if you ask him, I think so. He always wants to get better. He's had a lot of success. He's been beaten a few times. I mean, not like, you know, egregiously, but enough to, you know, be made aware of like he wants to get better at this for the second half or the second time he faces somebody. So to me, when I think about him, I just like, you got to finish in this town and you got to finish the whole season. So he's done about everything he could to put himself in the best position to do that for the second half.
I asked you because I think you're in a situation that should A, as a teammate, but B, you're the guy who had to go through a season as the big walk-year guy one time.
Yeah.
And everything that goes with that. Does that give you any further appreciation for being able to handle it? Especially you handled it in Houston, he's handling it in New York.
For sure. But I think, and he'll tell you the same thing, is that like, you know, when you have a good team around you, that's a blessing to have to do that, you know, to be able to do that with the support of your teammates. I know I benefited greatly from the support of my teammates in Houston, and not just like rooting for each other, but, you know, all competing for a common goal keeps your focus, you know, away from things that can distract you negatively. And you know, we finished the first half of the season. Tim LaCastro gets the belt, and it's like, great job, guys. We haven't done anything. We got a lot of work to do. And so like that mentality that I was fortunate enough to play in my walk here, and he has as well, is definitely a blessing. Not that it's like a cure-all to, you know, things that kind of creep in your head or the challenges that you face and the extra pressure, because those are still there. It's just it's a fun. It's like, it makes baseball more of an outlet, you know, and you just enjoy it. And that's how we all play best. You got it.
What's your favorite personal All-Star game memory?
Personal All-Star game memory. I think just like the first one, just in general. It was Brandon's first one too. We had both our families in, and at that time, you know, Braylon was only the oldest one that could get on the field, and so Brandon and I soaked it up for the home run derby. Todd Frazier won it. That's been I pitched that game. That's been my favorite one. Yeah.
And then any one growing that All-Star game home run derby member.
Oh, the one in Fenway. Yeah. 98, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Garrett, where do you stand on the potential for an automated strike zone in a couple of years?
Whatever. Let's do it.
Do you think there could be some?
I think it's inevitable. So I don't have an opinion on it. I'll just adjust when we get it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey Garrett, how's it going?
Yeah. Good. How are you?
Be social. Good. Got our mini mic.
Yes.
Perfect.
Got the mini mic. All right, Garrett. So, hard-hitting questions. First one is it have a catch or play catch?
Play catch.
I love the thought you put into that. If you have a
I've used both. So, yeah. I would say, like, if you're, like, asking somebody, would you like to have a catch? I think that's what you would say. And then if it's, like, abbreviated, it'd be like, yo, you want to play catch?
Formal, informal.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Love it. All right, so if you have a beard, do you also have a mustache?
No.
All right, flat wings or drumsticks? What do you prefer?
Drumsticks.
If you could borrow a pitch from anyone in history, who's the pitcher and what is the pitch?
I think it's right over here. I think I'd borrow Clayton's curveball, to be honest.
If you strike out the side, does it have to be in order or 3 Ks at any point in the inning?
Oh, I'd actually never thought about that. I mean, technically it can be in any order, right? But you're still gonna be frustrated about the guy that got on base, right? Or, I mean, I guess even if you give up a run, like, then it really doesn't count, right? Yeah.
Do you have any baseball superstitions that you'd share?
Just, when you're scoring runs, same spots. Same spots.
Who's the guy right now in the league that you like to watch?
Sandy's doing it, man. Holy cow. Shohei's pretty special. And then, my twin towers, my big guys, Aaron Judge, Big G. That's quite a show.
The last one is, what are you listening to right now? What's the most played song for Gerrit Cole?
Most played song. We play the song after we win every time, and we've won a lot. And it's something that goes like, I don't remember. I don't know the name of it, but I could sing it. But I'm not gonna sing it because it's in Spanish, and so I'm not gonna sing it. But that's the song. That's probably not a good answer. I'll say. I've been heavy on Drake this year so far. Yeah, been heavy on Drake.
Beautiful. Thank you so
Yep.
much for being on the mini mic.
You got it.
I'm the TV Tokyo of Good.
Yeah, he's been here.
Sorry.
Yep.
You've changed a lot. You've changed a little bit over your career. You've had major adjustments. Is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. Is there one adjustment that you kind of don't point to as being like a big difference, like getting up in the zone?
To be honest, the four seam. Yeah, man, the four seam.
Yeah.
It benefited me from a health perspective, from like a fish. It's just more. It's an easier stroke for me to throw, and then. And I've said this a bunch of times, the same principles that make a good four seam are the same principles that make good curveballs, sliders, cutters, breaking balls in general. Got to be behind the ball, got to be on top of the ball. And so getting that pitch, being a more efficient pitch, costing me less on every rep, and then those cues filtering into my other pitches kind of made the repertoire what it is. And I continue to tinker with it, but making that the number one was the biggest thing.
Give a coach some love on that process for you?
Yeah, he's over there. He plays for the Astros, and his name's Justin, and he helped me quite a bit. And Brent Strom, really, and Josh Miller, they both sat me down, along with a few other guys. I mean, maybe my second or third day there in Astros camp, and showed me the difference in my four seam that I had thrown in 2017 and my two seam, and why I should flip the usage pretty much like the exact opposite. Yeah. Yeah, you got it.
Hi, New Yorker, huge fan.
Awesome.
TV Tokyo at home. Speaking
Cool.
on behalf of, so the many Japanese fans are excited about this moment and looking forward to see you
Yeah.
play as well. What do you expect in this whole stop?
I'm expecting just a great game, great weather, obviously here in LA, and maybe some big hits, exciting home run derby, some hard fastballs. We've got a lot of good pitchers out there.
You're going to be playing with Ohtani this time. What do you think?
Yeah, Ohtani is pretty magical and I think inspiring for all of us. So we all dreamed of hitting and playing in the big leagues, and he's been the first one to do it. So I think we all a little part of us are a big fan.
Some rumor that maybe Ohtani might trade, becoming the Yankees.
That'd be great. I like that rumor. Let's keep it going.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good luck.
What about the Soto rumor? You like that one?
Yeah, I love that rumor too. These type of rumors, I think we need to make sure we keep them on the front page and
Did they
remind.
actually happen?
What?
Well, it's Soto and Ohtani of the Yankees.
I don't know. I definitely heard the Soto on the market piece. I didn't hear about that, but if you're telling me, then I mean, all I can do is praying hand emoji, right? So
Now that you have a minute to step away from the grind of the season, even just for a moment
Yeah.
away from the team, how do you reflect on how you pitched and how the Yankees have played so far?
yeah, I think that we've done a pretty good job. I think that Aaron says it. I feel like we're kind of on a tape recorder a little bit, but we're just so cognizant of what our real goal is. Not that we're not proud of what we did. Not that we're not encouraging each other to continue and rooting for each other to perform well. There are some things in the first half that I think that we'll probably circle back around here the next couple days as we start the second half that we'll want to improve on. For sure, we're self-evaluating. And for me personally, I mean, my answer to that would not be much different than what the answer is for the team in general. So,
For a team that starts so well like that, you've been on good teams before. What are some of the things that then you have to be careful about, or pitfalls, to make sure that continues in the second half?
yeah, I mean, I think over generally complacency comes to mind. Although I don't think that anybody in our room is very complacent. But it's just the league is just constantly chewing up information, always looking for an edge. So you have to find that balance of sticking to your strengths but being forward thinking at the same time to try to stay ahead of what your opponent's going to throw at you. And I think that there's a lot of different edges to be gained throughout all aspects of the game. So that's the challenge of it, is to make sure your base running's on point, you're playing clean ball. You got to play clean ball in this league. Your approach at the plate is disciplined, yet it's aggressive. You don't, and from a pitching standpoint, you got to know where your outs are, you got to know what your strengths are, and we got to keep communicating. And know that offenses and other pitching staffs are going to adjust to how we've had success so far this year, and so we are going to take some punches, and how we absorb those and move forward is also important as well.
And finally, just what do you see now in a half a season of the main differences between the Yankees last year and the Yankees this year?
Attention to detail. Yeah, I mean, running game, picks to first, picks to second. On the offensive side, bags, first to thirds. Somehow Glaber's invisible all the time. It's unbelievable. He seems to have a knack for that. That's been magical. Defense, everybody's grinding at it too. G, Carp, even the guys that aren't in there all the time are still working. And then continuity throughout the lineup in terms of the conversations, and continuity throughout the defense, and that includes pitching in terms of how we're attacking people, how we've attacked people from the start of the game. So, and then to the finish of the game as the relievers come in, Trevi and Higgy do a great job of bringing that together. So we have more athleticism to do those things, and then we have the want to do those things. So that's the biggest difference. We're equipped and we're focused.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Sorry. Yep.
What is the sort of stat or stats that you look at to see what kind of season you're having that you wish fans paid attention
team wins and losses. I don't know. I mean, we have like internally metrics that we're always looking for objectiveness, right? And so we have, good pitch, good delivery. The hitter puts a good swing on it. You ask yourself, was it the right pitch? You ask yourself, we just try to find the most objective way to evaluate those types of things. So we have metrics that quantify, how good the pitch is. We have metrics about the sequencing and if we're making smart decisions. And so that's just kind of like self-maintenance monitoring. And then really the rest of that is just honestly wins. Like, that's it. I mean, I'm blessed to have length my contract, and I'm blessed to be on a great team and an organization that buys into this every single year. And we're all like-minded in the fact that if you go ask any one of these other guys, the most important stat to them is going to be win.
And then you mentioned your long contract. As a guy who went through free agency or just as a union guy, what kind of advice would you give to Juan Soto who's weighing whether or not he should test free agency?
I mean, I don't know if I have enough information about Juan Soto's situation to kind of comment on it publicly, and I haven't talked to him personally about it either. So I don't really feel comfortable speculating on that. So
Gerrit,
thanks.
this is your 5th All-Star game. Does the specialness?
How you doing, Bruce?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Does the specialness of this game still resonate with you?
For me, like for pitcher, I feel like always, because you're voted in by your peers. So like, it's just such a humbling experience to walk in here and have the respect of, the other players. And then, I love the Yankees, and so I try to play well and pitch well so that I can come to these things and represent our brand and represent our organization and everything we're about. And I take that really seriously. And then, there's the family aspect of it too. I have a son now, and so these moments are special for us. And so those three things, it's just like it never gets old.
Gerrit, second half of the season, what are you looking for from your ball club?
Just more of the same, more good play. I think that there are going to be some adjustments by our opponents going into the second half, and we're going to need to find that balance between doing what we do best and counterpunching what other teams that do things well throw at us. We're going to need to be resilient when we fail, because that's coming, and how we get through that is going to determine how well, how much success we have when all is on the line. We're very well aware of the fact that we have a common goal, and that's to hoist a trophy at the end of the year. And so, although we're proud of what we've done, and we're very excited and looking forward to the future, but that's the goal, and so we haven't accomplished it yet.
And are you looking for the same consistency that you showed in the
Yeah.
part of the first half of
Yeah,
the season?
I think so. I mean, there are some parts of consistency that I think are going to be outside of your control. You run into a guy like JV, or you run into guys, that are hot or really swinging well. Sometimes there's not a whole lot that you can do, but the consistency aspect of it is going to be how you respond to when that situation comes up. Because in my experience, when we play in the playoffs, I mean, I've never swept anybody, and absorbing the tough losses is almost just as important as the wins, to be honest.
Gerrit, I work for House of Highlights, very basketball-oriented audience. We're asking people what's more fun to watch, the Home Run Derby or the NBA Slam Dunk Contest? I think I know your answer, but I want to hear why it's the Home Run Derby.
Well, I am an awful shot. I can't really shoot a basketball at all. So that's probably why I lean towards the Home Run Derby. I don't know. To me, there's something magical about the ability to have this ridiculous hand-eye coordination and then ridiculous amount of power. Like, it's just a combination of those two aspects that are kind of beautiful. I think sometimes you see it in tennis a little bit too, is another sport that has those type of things. And maybe I'm just not educated enough on basketball. Maybe there is a finite level of hand-eye there when you're going for a slam dunk. But I mean, I can't even make a layup, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
And you think Judge and Stanton would put on a show in a slam dunk contest? They got the height.
They definitely got the height, yeah, for sure. And I know they put on a show in BP because I get to watch it every day.
Thanks, Garrett.
Hey, how are you, dude? Good to see you. I didn't expect you to be here. Well, you know, I'm not gonna duck it. I got questions to answer. Ah, good. I'll catch up with you after this. All right. Yeah.
Garrett.
Good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I know war exists, but like, how do you quantify it, Tony? Like, is there a way to like put it into numbers or anything?
It's tough to it's tough to say. I don't know. Is war a good metric? I don't know. I think like there's an aspect of like it's not just like the production, because the actual player is like intimidating. Like so like, even if he's cold at the plate, like you don't mess with him, right? Even if he's had a couple bad outings, like he's still coming at you with a hundo and a split, you know, and then he's gonna drop a bomb on you if he leads off. So it is tough to quantify. I'm not interested in quantifying it. I'm just interested in enjoying it when it's not against the Yankees, really.
A year from now, there will be some quantification, like possibly becomes a free agent. How should he be paid for what he brings to the club?
What do you just do? You just do a double? You just do a double contract there? Is that what you do? You just. I mean, I guess it's great we don't have a salary cap if that's the situation we get into, right?
You endorse the Yankee option?
Oh, of course, always. I'm very excited. I saw him earlier today, or maybe last night when we got in. I'll catch up with him later, probably. Yeah, he's just cool. He's just cool. I mean, I did the hitting thing too, but not that good, and so it just must be such a blast for him to play. Hopefully, it's as much fun as it is to watch.
And then I know you like him as a two-way player. And what do you think about the decision that he's not pitching tomorrow?
You know, I mean, look, as players, like, we're kind of in you want to promote the game, and you definitely want to be here, and you know, the fans and the players that voted you in, and so, you know, it's important to show up. But at the same time, the game doesn't matter, and, you know, it's very important for him to make sure that he's in a good spot for his team. You know, he owes his team that, and I think every player here respects that. So, you know, if he's not good to go tomorrow, no worries. You'll just have to, you know, buy a ticket to Anaheim to go see him in a couple days.
Garrett, hello from Nickelball.
Hi. Hi.
Last
Yes, how are you?
Just want to say hi to you.
Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
Hey, James. Yeah, nice piece. I read, yeah.
Hi, Gerrit. John W. Davis,
Hey.
Orange County Register.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
I wanted to talk to you about being back in the area.
Yeah, it's my first trip. This will be the first of 2 West Coast trips. We come through, I think, in late August, early September. Yeah, it's nice to be back. The weather is just the way I left it, and I get to go home, you know, Tuesday night, see my folks, and they get to hang out with their grandson. So it's gonna be a nice little 3 days.
And what does it mean to you as an OU grad to be playing in the first All-Star game in LA in 40 years?
Pretty sweet. I mean, to be able to come home and, you know, catch up with family, represent the Yankees, you know, back where my career started, OU, UCLA. Yeah, there's an extra level of specialness to it.
Do you still feel a connection to that high school baseball community or that college baseball community?
Yeah, I mean, our college team is really tight. I mean, there's one of my teammates right there. So, high school, I have a couple guys I keep in touch with regularly. Yeah, still. So, yeah, pretty tight with both of them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it.
Did you were a kid growing up, did you vote for the All-Star game?
Yeah, for sure. I love I wish we still had the tangible. I like the punch. Yeah, I like the punch. I would go to the Angel games and I'd grab, like, you know, a bunch of ballots and I'd get the pen and I'd punch Tim Salmon and Garrett Anderson and Darren Erstad and do the whole thing.
You were a homer.
Yeah.
How do you, when you vote now, what do you look at? Is it just 2022?
So I look at, well, yeah, I definitely definitely look at the year's stats for sure. And, not that it's a tough decision sometimes. I think that what I try to do is I try to just look at the most deserving for the year, and then if there's a tie between the two, sometimes I go with the older player, sometimes I go with the younger player, depending on who I think, because there's some replacements, so strategizing how to get everybody in is really my goal.
How do you factor in a guy? Okay, we know this guy's a future Hall of Famer. He's been great for 12 years in a row, but he's hitting 198 this year.
I love the legacy thing. I think that's amazing. I mean, I played against Miggy a long time. To sit with him on the bus and chat with him is pretty cool, because usually we just, talk in passing, either on the field or in BP. And then, sometimes, unless you're JV or whatever, at the end of your career, you maybe aren't putting up electric first halves, to get you voted into this thing on merit. But there's so much knowledge that those types of players can, inflict on some of the younger players, the first-time players especially, meeting some of their heroes. And it's that circle of information is only going to be good for the product down the line. If one or two of these guys can pick up a hitting tip from Miggy or Albert, if one of these arms can pick something up from JV, that's what makes the game great and continues to feed, a good product going forward. So that's really good.
Maybe consider expanding that. Like maybe you do a pitcher and a hitter every year.
Yeah, certainly. As long as it's not at the expense of the regular roster, absolutely. Yeah.
You have to forgive me for asking a Shohei question, because I know
it's like my 15th one today.
I know, but you're a student. Of it. What does he do well as a pitcher?
He attacks the strike zone, really. I mean, he pressures you. He's probably got maybe an obscured view of how hard it is to hit, since he's so good at it. He probably thinks it's a little easier than most people do, but he attacks the strike zone, and he puts pressure on the opponents. And then, if he gives up a couple runs, he comes back up to the dish and then gets his own and fixes it.
Mike Trout just said a moment ago that he's going to be a part of the World Baseball Classic coming up next year. Is that something that you would entertain or possibly want to participate in?
I actually haven't put any thought into it, but I wouldn't rule it out. Yeah.
Thanks.
Gerrit,
Good to see you, Trent.
What do you make of a franchise player like Juan Soto being available at 23 for teams to be able to get?
Exciting?
I mean, is it shocking that something like that would happen, or not so much these days?
I don't know. I don't know if shocking is. I would intriguing, certainly. I'm not. Nationals fans probably have a different feeling about this, maybe than some of the other people who are now salivating over the prospect of potentially getting him. So, it's certainly drumming up a lot of conversation about probably one of the greatest players in the game right now, and about the industry in general. So that can't hurt.
I mean, with the trade deadline coming up, is that something you as a player think about your team getting?
Yeah, I mean, I hope we get everybody. Yeah, Dave. Come on. Right. I mean, so yeah, that guy's good. I would love to have him.
Gerrit, we see all the action on the field against you pitching against other teams. Behind the scenes, who on the Yankees gives you the most trouble when you guys go one-on-one?
Probably Tony. It's a card table back and forth. Tony and JD, they're they get all braggadocio and hot over there, and then somehow they pull out some full house out of their butt, and then it takes my money. Then I get worn out about it. So it's always good to have a guy like Rizzo around, keep everybody level-headed.
Absolutely. And with the Derby tonight, I want to hear your predictions. I want to hear who you think is hitting the furthest ball and how far is it going.
I don't know the field. Sorry. Do you have a shit?
Schwarber, Acuna,
Soto?
Seager. Who else am I missing? Alonso.
Most homers. I think Schwarber's pretty dangerous. Farthest homer. I'm gonna go with. Farthest homer, I'm gonna go with Juan Soto, and then I think Schwarber's got a good chance. Yeah.
Great. Last question. We asked a lot of the pitchers around the league if they could take one pitch from someone else's arsenal around the league. I've been getting a lot of Clay Holmes sinkers. Who would you take?
Oh, I like Clayton Kershaw's curveball. That's just that one's aged pretty well, I think. Yeah.
Thank you.
A few quick questions.
Sure.
The first one is, if you could play with any player for the past, who would it be and why?
Any player. I feel like I'd like to play with Yogi. He's pretty good at winning World Series. Yeah, so that would be pretty good for me.
And then, what's your all-time favorite walk-up song?
I don't. It's hard to beat Enter Sandman for Mo. Yeah.
And then, lastly,
I'm going all Yankees here. Shoot. Am I biased? I don't know.
do you have a favorite social media app?
No, I don't. Sorry. Well, based on the schedule, it was an easy call. But I'd like to start one of these things one day. That'd be nice. Yeah, it's special coming home, seeing my family, and just fulfilling your duties, answering questions, shaking hands, being supportive, and just contributing to the overall event.
Sorry, somebody asked. Did you pitch here in college?
No, I didn't. I played here. We played. They have a college tournament here with SC and UCLA, and but I didn't pitch in this game here. No. No, I've hit here actually. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't think it went well.
Gerrit, in 17, Verlander gets traded to Houston, puts him over the top. Mookie goes to the Dodgers at 20, puts him over the top. Is Soto that type of player?
Yes.
That you look at him and say, I don't want him going to Houston.
I don't want him. Where I really don't want him going. I don't want him going up to Boston. But I mean, I don't want him going. If he's gonna go, I want him to come to us. Yeah, but he's that type of player that. I mean, he's going to be a generational great. So whatever organization gets him, if they do indeed trade him, is going to be in a good spot for the next. If they can keep him for the next 10 years, whoever gets to lock him up.
How many times have you faced him?
Through the World Series, so 2 games.
What makes him? What's so tough?
Yeah, like he backsided a 2-strike fastball about 445 feet the opposite way, right up there on the outside corner. So that makes him pretty special. And then, like the discipline, right? Like just awareness of the strike zone is at least in that series was on par with some of the Matt Carpenter at bats that you've been seeing lately, and so. It's those 2 traits: massive power, great swing, great discipline.
Thank you, Gerrit.
Yeah, just knock out a couple more here. Chandler's been waiting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What is it like to see him blossom and be the All-Star?
Really cool. Really cool. Very well deserving. He just keeps getting better and better. Like he had a lot of expectations coming up, and. He didn't have like that immediate like takeoff success, right? Like he contributed, but he continues to refine his approach, and not just at the plate but on defense. Like I was blown away with that catch that he made in New York. It's the first thing I told him when I saw him today was like, because I always knew he could swing it, but like, balls to the wall, into the fence there, like new park, like. A lot of special things going on with that catch. And and I saw him like up down. Him and Miles Straw were like best friends, and now they're both established, and it's cool to see. It's cool to see for me.